There's a lot of First Nations that they're not happy what's happening in how the government is proceeding with the Ring of Fire, especially with Bill 5, and because of the lack of consultation and the consent from First Nation, not to mention that they say it's a breach of Treaty 9. So my question, what is the estimate legal costs associated with defending the government against claims resulting from Bill 5?
The cost of not proceeding with an element of speed on building mines faster means that we are literally sitting here comfortable in our democratic, free-loving desks at Queen's Park, enabling regimes like China to win the day. Like, the inference in your question is that the status quo, which was the system you seem to have preferred
No,
versus
mister,
the reform.
it's not the status quo. You're taking my question completely to a different place.
Juan, please focus your question on the estimate.
But it is my estimate. So I'm asking, what's the cost? Is there a cost to defending the claims there'll be? Because First Nations...
Is it relevant to the estimate?
Yes. Yes, it is. We want to know what have they estimated, because they'll be challenged on these. We just want to know what have they put aside.
But how can a minister currently estimate what is the legal challenge when we don't have a court case yet? We don't have hearings.
Maybe they don't have a court case, but they must have put money aside to estimate at least that if they're being challenged, there is money set aside. So I'm asking the minister to answer and to use my question to say, well, unfortunately, we weren't the first on this land, Minister. First Nations were. And they're saying you or this government infringing on treaties that they signed. So I would take away your question or retract your question and respect First Nation of this province. So please answer my question, please.
No, I'm going to reaffirm my point, which is you would rather keep the current status. Yes, it is the stated position of the New Democrats in the legislature to oppose a reduction.
He's accusing me of me. I'm asking a question that came from our stakeholders, First Nations, are asking also these.
And we appreciate their thoughts. We very much appreciate their perspectives. We engage with them directly. We certainly do not need any opposition member to be an intermediary. They speak for themselves. We look forward to working with them directly. But I do want to talk about the record of those that are actually seated in the room. Because if the position of the member is that the old system, the system that we had to reform, Speaker, was actually making a difference for First Nation or any community?
I didn't ask.
Minister, several times in my colleagues' previous questions, you said that my party wants to maintain the status quo. I want to challenge that. The status quo is the plan that the Liberals used that prevented mining from moving forward. We are in favor of true consultation, which Bill 5 didn't consult even on the bill on. His question about the estimated legal cost for Bill 5, associated with defending the government's claims resulting from Bill 5, I think is legitimate. The Robinson Treaty annuities, for example, the outcome was $10 billion of a payment. That does include the legal costs of 2 decades of legal challenges, right? So when we're looking at budgets and estimates, I feel it's a fair question to ask. So what is the estimated legal cost associated with defending the government against claims resulting from Bill 5?
Look, I don't want to be combative here, but there was a bill before the legislature that didn't include any of the provisions of Bill 5. It was called the Building Mines Faster Act, and your party voted against that too, even though it was endorsed by every mining industry sector in the country. You still opposed it. So we can't use the excuse of changes to species. You had an opportunity to vote for a pro-mining provision supported by the mayor of your community, by every chamber, and you still opposed it. So I'm sorry, if we're going to have this discussion, let's be honest. But on the basis...
You're not being honest. I can't say that.
I mean, I know you are, but I'm just suggesting I want us to be clear of what that means. The status quo to me is allowing the old system to prevail. We're looking at a better version. We know we can do it better. We know we can move faster. We are the second slowest. I mean, my God, at what point do we sort of realize that's not an acceptable standard for anyone? So yes, we're challenging the status quo. We believe in the basis of reform. And on the question of dealing with any legal items, I would have to reference the Attorney General's office, who would lead this for the enterprise of government. I'm not involved in that. I wouldn't be privy to that. I think the chair actually made a sound point that there's not necessary litigation to date that I'm aware of